Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Saturday the 20th of July 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we've got in store for us today. We've got two articles here actually from Cointelegraph. I'm going to go over this one. It says Donald Trump's crypto platform is missing one thing. I guess we'll find out what that is. And then we'll also go over this one. Binance gets green light to invest customer assets in US Treasury bills. Like, what on earth is going on there? So we'll have a look at that. Got more to go through on 365 days of Bitcoin history. And then we'll get on with the charts as usual. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, let's have a look at this then. Prices holding steady. 47.25, top left of the screen. It's pretty good, isn't it? Donald Trump's crypto platform is missing one thing. President Biden has been ruthless in his quest to eradicate the crypto industry. Trump should commit to pardoning the developers that Biden imprisoned. The Republican National Convention has approved former President Donald Trump's new platform for the Republican Party. The vast majority is standard Republican fare, with one big exception, a pro-innovation crypto policy. Trump's commitment to defend America's rights to mine Bitcoin, self-custody digital assets and transact freely are welcome additions to the platform, but there's one piece sorely missing. That was a commitment to protect the developers of decentralized projects from government interference and the threat of criminal prosecution. Well, they're all producing unregistered, illegal, economically worthless security. They're all scammers. So, don't really, mind you, I mean, Cointelegraph is biased anyway. The Biden administration has been hostile to crypto companies from Ripple and Coinbase, but it has treated the developers of privacy-preserving technologies far worse. Well, yeah, I mean, they don't like privacy as it is or anonymity, but yeah. President Joe Biden's Department of Justice has repeatedly prosecuted software developers for doing little more than building products that some malicious actors happen to use for nefarious purposes. Nowhere has this been more apparent than in the administration's treatment of Roman Storm and Roman Semenov. Storm and Semenov are two of the developers behind Tornado Cash, a fully decentralized protocol, for private transactions on ETH. After the Tornado Cash protocol was used by bad actors, most notably the North Korean-backed Lazarus Group, to launder hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ETH, and US Treasury Department sanctioned the protocol. While that decision was controversial, it was far more reasonable. It was a far more reasonable response than what happened next. The Department of Justice indicted Storm and Semenov indicted Storm and Semenov for conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit sanctions violations, and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. Well, that's actually correct. Semenov has yet to be brought into custody on these charges, but Storm is currently facing trial in New York. The prosecutions of Storm and Semenov are fraught on many levels. The prosecution inaccurately portrays the defendants' actions as executing transactions when Storm and Semenov only enabled individuals to execute their own transactions. Also, as Coin Center explained in an amicus brief in defense of Storm, publishing open source software is protected speech under the First Amendment and sanctioned law should not apply. Yeah, but they've created a program that probably dealing in a coin of some sort that allows these coin mixes. So you're effectively dealing in securities fraud anyway, because that's what cryptocurrency is. So what you're doing is you're facilitating crime and receiving proceeds of crime. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what not many people have got yet. Had a few people reached out how much they had enjoyed and learned from this podcast. It's an eye-opening look into the case of Roman Serlingov, told by his lawyers. On a more fundamental level, prosecuting developers like Storm and Semenov for their tools are misused by others set a dangerous precedent that could stifle innovation in the realm of privacy-providing technologies. Privacy-preserving tools like Tornado Cash, well, it's not really, are not in there. It's anonymous rather than private. Are not inherently malicious. They can be used for both legitimate and illicit purposes, pushing developers for potential misuse by others, disregards the broader benefits these tools provide. The technologies such as zero-knowledge proofs, secure multi-party computation, and homomorphic encryption provide robust methods to protect personal data without compromising functionality. These technologies ensure that sensitive information remains confidential, even in the face of sophisticated cyber threats. It is for these reasons that the US government has supported the development of privacy-preserving technologies, such as Tor and Signal, for decades. But they're not dealing in securities fraud, are they? They're literally ways of keeping identity private. They're not actually dealing in securities fraud. So, mute argument there, really. Post here on X from Cointelegraph saying Trump's new running mate DJ Vance once slammed Gary Gensler's approach to regulating crypto as the exact opposite for what ideal policy should look like. Do we get to see that?
If there's a candidate for worst person, in my view, at least in terms of my substantive disagreements, I'm sure he's like a nice guy, is Gary Gensler. Okay.
Right. Yeah, well, Gary, again, is stuck between a rock and a hard place, being financed by the very banks who are actually ripping people off, and them not wanting Bitcoin to generally succeed. But people, if these other cryptos and these other scam coins aren't out there, people would find BSV, and that's what the banks don't want. So I'm stuck there. By targeting individuals for the mere act of writing and publishing privacy-preserving open source software, the government is sending a chilling message to developers. Innovate on privacy and security is a potential liability. Developers may now hesitate to create tools that enhance privacy and security for fear of legal repercussions, stalling advancements in essential areas such as digital privacy and financial autonomy. With the addition of Ohio Senator DJ Vance to the Republican ticket, it's clear that Trump's campaign is casting itself as pro-innovation and pro-crypto. Trump has rallied against the Biden administration's handling of the crypto industry in recent months and is scheduled to address a Bitcoin conference in Nashville in July. For his part, Vance has not left his Silicon Valley days totally behind him. He owns a substantial amount of that's BTC, and has worked on legislation during his time in the Senate that aims to bring regulatory clarity to the industry. While nothing is certain, all signs seem to indicate that a second Trump administration would have far better crypto-related policy than the current Biden administration, which has failed to provide such certainty or assurance to the crypto industry. A second Trump administrator has exposed intentions to support innovation and create a more accommodating environment for the crypto industry. It should certainly defend the rights of Bitcoin miners, self-custodians, and people wishing to transact freely. But if a second Trump administration truly wants to champion innovation and end democratic, unlawful, and un-American crypto crackdown, it must also commit to defending the rights of the people building the tools that allow all of these things to happen. Well, again, what they really need to do is understand the difference between a commodity and a security, don't they? And I guess only us here in BSV know that. Binance gets green light to invest customers' assets in US Treasury bills. Like, what on earth is this all about? The court stipulated that Binance could invest customer funds custodied at BitGo in Treasury bills maturing along a 4-week basis. What's all this about? On July 19, a US Senate court gave Binance the approval to invest customer funds into US Treasury bills. According to the order handed down by the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, Binance will be able to invest certain customer funds through a third-party investment manager as long as Binance ensures the funds are not being invested back into the company or any of its related entities. The court order also stipulates that Binance must produce data outlining any costs associated with maintaining the custodied US Treasury investments in its monthly report detailing its business expenses and operations. Stablecoins are a way to extend US dollar dominance by decades. The court approval allowing Binance to invest customer funds in US Treasury bills foreshadows cryptocurrency's potential role for shoring up demand for the allying US dollar in the face of de-dollarization efforts by the BRICS nations. More specifically, collateralized stablecoins have been floated as a way to potentially extend US dollar dominance by decades through buying and holding US debt instruments, thereby offsetting some of the massive inflations brought on by years of quantitative easing, poor monetary policy, and reckless fiscal policy. Well, I'd say that's intentional, reckless activity, behavior, because their currency is not competitive to any other currency. Therefore, they can be financially reckless and irresponsible as possible without any economic penalty, apart from the destruction of their own economy, which is what they plan to do anyway. The Tether stablecoin is one such example. In 2023, Tether laid $72.5 billion in US treasuries, on par with certain developing nation states. The firm stressed the over-collateralization of its dollar-pegged stablecoin as a form of insurance against a major collapse. Former United States Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, also touched on how stablecoins can alleviate the debt crisis and allow US dollar to remain competitive in global trade markets. Ryan pointed to the significant demand for dollar-pegged stablecoins generated for the US dollar and US debt instruments, which back the value of the fiat equivalent tokens. Others, like Alex Gastein, the Chief Strategy Officer for Human Rights Foundation, believe that dollar-pegged stablecoins only perpetuate the broken fiat-centric system that decentralized digital were meant to supplant. All right, what's this? Tyler Winklevoss donates $500k to join Deaton's campaign. The tech entrepreneur characterized incumbent Elizabeth Warren's regulatory power over the Biden administration as Faustian bargaining. Tyler Winklevoss, co-founder of Gemini Winklevoss Capital, announced a $500,000 donation to attorney John Deaton's Senate campaign on July 18th. Okay. Okay, I don't know who Deaton is, but I've no doubt we shall find out. So there we go. Right, let's get back onto a little bit of Bitcoin history. Check it out. So on the 20th of July 2010, DCG.co was created. And this is DCG, Digital Currency Group.co. Check it out. So 2010, I mean, crikey. The network was started 3rd of January 2009. So we're literally within this is within 18 months of Bitcoin being launched. DCG.co was created. So, I mean, if you ask me, knowing what we know now, these tyrannical tech, whoever it is that's leading the tyrannical tech side of things, when they say they'll stand above their relative field of experience, for we're less than insects and all that. They've been on this right from the beginning. They're like, right, how can we sabotage it? I mean, that early. I mean, they didn't really know what they were doing, because they didn't really know what Bitcoin was, so they're just like pumping and dumping it. And eventually they figured out SegWit in 2015, which Peter Wool was working on, that they then implemented in 2017. So they've been on it from the beginning. But we just got to hope that Satoshi Nakamoto, the world's most decorated cybersecurity expert, has got one over on them, because it's the only hope we have. So 20th of July 2017. Oh, this was the epic talk that CSW gave in Tokyo. Come on, let's have a listen to this. Where's the volume? Well worth it.
At the end of the day, we own a lot of Bitcoin. The simple thing is, if we make the network scale, we make it bigger, my main compensation, more than anything anyone could ever pay me, is the price of Bitcoin goes up. So that's my pure drive. I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin. That's it. And that's what we spend money for. Very simple.
Awesome. Loving that. Now we know. So that was CSW in Tokyo, 20th of July 2017. He's kind of like cagey, about that now, but People need to know. It's like, what is the intention of this thing? I mean, it can be used for so much good. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the entrepreneurial drive. But it's kind of like you got two birds and all that. I mean, not only does it do that, but the positive effects. I mean, it's well worth it. I mean, that's the value of it. I mean, the value that it brings to the world is just sensational. And that value is reflected in the potential value of the asset. And now we know what the potential asset, what the value's aimed at, and how much good that can bring to the world. So that's awesome. But also on the 20th of July 2022, Tesla sold 75% of its BTC holdings. Tesla sold 75% of its BTC, worth approximately $936 million, according to its Q2 earnings report. In its aftermarket earnings announcement, the electric car manufacturer found that Elon Musk said in a shareholder presentation that Bitcoin impairment had a negative impact on its profitability during the second quarter when it posted 2.5 billion in operating income. All right. I'll have to alter that, but there we go. So that's 20th of July, right? Let's have a look at these figures then. So we've got CoinDance reporting at $47. Loving that. Let's have a quick look at the difficulty adjustment on BTC. All time, highest it's ever been, really. Hash rate, let's have a look at that on Bitcoin. Look at that, still steady, very good. Network nodes, for those who don't think I'd brought don't need to see the miners, but transactions right down. So they are right down here. Just that's 59,973. Let's just cross-reference that with what's on chain. 61,462. And block size. Okay, let's have a look at these blocks coming through. Oh, Tau got quite a big market share there. Got an 18 megabyte block. Nothing to write home about there, but scaling is coming. Look at that. So it's 56,739 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Coolcoin. The profitability is blatantly still being managed. It's 35.9% comparative loss to mine on Bitcoin than Coolcoin. Let's bring up the politics here. Global hash rate 7 days. Global hash rate 24 hours. Coolcoin hash rate, other miners 1.39. Bcrash, other mining pools 28.4. Fisher Price cash, who cares? And then we've got Bitcoin. Let's cross-reference that with what's on chain. Here we go. Tau with 52%. Very nice. Kuv 27.54. QD Link 14.4. Gorilla Pool 5%. Very good. Crypto Quant. Look. Exchanges still cashing out. Let's have a look at the Tether weather. Oof. Look at I wonder how much they've pumped the market now. Look at that. What have we got? 113.76, and it's gone up to 113.98. So that's almost 300 million. Or bang on 300 million. 300 million in an afternoon. Imagine making 300 million in an afternoon. From nothing. Oh yeah, what have you made today? I just made myself 300 million. Just by printing it from nothing, just pumping it into the market. So in the last week, it's gone from 112.45 to 113.94. So $1.5 billion. Is that $1.5 billion in 7 days. Not bad. Jeepers. USDC, that's also in the green, so we'll see what's going on there. Yep, that is pumping. So this will be pumping the shitcoin market. It'd be interesting to see what's happened to the price. Oh, didn't expect that. Look, that up on the day. So sort of went maybe just a little bit down on the week, but up again and again, up even further. Jeepers. All right, so that's what's pumping the shitcoin market. BTC longs, misguided. I looked at the wallets; they were the same as yesterday. Here we go. So Bitcoin versus BTC. Yeah, so they're look at that. I mean, it's going up and down, you know. BSV keeps breaking out, and then they just keep pumping BTC to bring the price back down again. It's interesting to watch. Look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, very interesting. Let's have a look at that compared to USD. Yeah, look, I mean, that's been alright over the week. Or like 10 days. Yeah, very interesting. Let's compare that to Orange Gateway. Oh, look at that. Wow, so that's 77.7 now. I think it's USD. Wow. Oh no, last price 77.18. There's no 24-hour high there. Maybe I'll get that one because I'll need to log in. But I mean, that's going really well. Really well. Good grief. Market, so again, all in the green. So that's a $2.4 trillion market cap. $2.4 trillion fraud. Unbelievable. But, you know, Bernie Madoff ain't got nothing on this. 24-hour trade volume, just 1.7. CoolCoin price just stabilizing there. And again, this is what the depth chart should look like. But if we go onto genuine Bitcoin here, it won't look anything like that. Let's have a look. Let's see what ridiculous figures they've got here now. So now they reckon 620k bids to 5.4 million asks. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the price is looking stable. The price should be absolutely tanking if there are this many people wanting to sell it. Look, that is the same as yesterday. Absolute total BS. Total BS. That's very disheartening. Funny though, really, when you know what's going on. And a little bit, let's have a look at this. Epps Potts was the last one with a 43.52% return on investment. Very good. Let's just have one more. There's a post here I just want to acknowledge here. Do likes. Here we go. From Degan. Great one here. Replying to Kurt was saying, in the 15 years since the creation of Bitcoin, there's been fewer than a dozen disruptive business models created with the technology, and none of them have been successful. I primarily blame greedy people following the lead of saboteurs, you know, blah, 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 blah. And again, they've made Bitcoin, well, BTC, completely useless. You know, and then all these other cryptocurrencies, securities frauds, they can't do anything. They can't scale. I primarily blame greedy people for following the lead of saboteurs, and I've done my part to try to make it easier to build disruptive businesses. Not sure what else I can do to try and help make this whole thing to start really work. And Degan, great post here, said that the enemy has prevented the philosophy of the system at every step and in every conceivable way. Very true. Yet here we stand. We're so close. Well, let's not speak too soon. Scale is coming. Secure distributed identity systems, simple monetization, an idea adopted in the honest pursuit of truth, cannot be killed in the mind of the beholder. That's true. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Loving that. Very encouraging there. Feeling the passion from the Bitcoin developers. So we'll leave it there. If you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to Satoshi at Sempy.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, RockWallet.me, and Senti.ch. Hope you enjoyed it as ever. Be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.